Non, non, il l'a sur l'iPad aussi. Ben, j'en ai qui font pas. La bibliothèque est gratuite. So, l'audio.
I will ask, so it's working, so translation is first, I would like to welcome everyone. First, Mr. Clerk, conflict of interest, any declaration, any council members who would like to, will have to excuse myself. I'm not sure exactly of the item itself for this item. To excuse myself too. Need a motion to adopt the agenda as presented, moved by Councillor Peter. Yes, item 15.4, 15.5. That's a good question because it was kind of repeating itself. Great. So if we talk too fast, it's more difficult. We have 2 minutes, sets of minutes. So this is our minutes for February 13. And for the special, the motion to adopt them. Moved by Councillor Janice Cormier, seconded by against Ney. This evening, number 7, correspondence. For renaming a street. Councillor Emile. And seconded by Deputy Mayor Jean-Claude Bertin. You will, Mrs. Of the change. Are there any residents or is it a brand? So it means it will have no impact. Councillor Emile O'Brien. So to go back, all those in favor saying 5, saying aye. Bastien Leblanc is the president of the. So he's asking the council if there would be a possibility and the purchasing of this property, like Councillor Paul Boudreau. Yes, for fund for green spaces. So we do not have it like that, but I think I could look into it. I'll check. It's not a whole lot. It's maybe 80,000. So if not, well, I would like. So maybe we could refer this back from the community garden for Shediac and surrounding. No, she's the chair of that committee. I am the seconder. We can make a motion. So I'm good. So no decision was taken. It's like a recommendation for the letter from the community gardens. It comes financial request for $10,000 for. I think there will. So I have several rules because I saw her first. So what I understand, we already $3,150. I just really like to make sure like the community garden and the school. I think I would like to see the written agreement before we give more money than what. Council was part of the. I was on their board. They be renewed every 5 years. To my knowledge, that the agreement is signed. Another thing, like we should notice when to join this project. So we also, because they can bring it within their cooking programs or to participate the community garden. They try to remove like rebuild the garden. So they want to do. If I remember, I think we gave some funds at the disposal. So the estimated cost like to rebuild is close project again because New in Trinidad we do not have a lot of homeless people, but we have a lot. Yes, Councillor Peter. I think it's very important, like before we say we're good, they can look at this agreement. You're talking about the movie, like to move like all those boxes, and there was like a storage space. I can't have a written agreement either, like with the school district or. Thank you, Councillor Murray, Councillor Paul, and
in Shediac Cape that is connected to,
Uh, They can make a request. I mean, certainly.
I'm just
council can
asking.
Consider. I wouldn't say why not. I mean, they can certainly ask. Easy enough. They weren't within Shediac.
no problem whatsoever to support this request because we gave $80,000 for Christmas parade. And of course, we would be very happy, like if Shediac Cape would deliver like the $10,000 funds for this project. I have no problem. I agree, it's a very important project and it serves a lot of people, but I'm not sure if it the funds. So how would they get the balance of the $100,000? And I need I knew they were asking for $10,000, but I wasn't aware of the total cost. But so the question, your question was like if it's $100,000, I think they have $40,000 in the bank, Cap Acadie, a couple of years ago, Beaubassin, and then like they'll be able to secure if all the partners in line give the what, and I would like to get something in writing, like a conditional agreement signed, provide it to the administration, in the administration can get back, so everything's there. On this one here, Mr. Once we have the assigned agreement, the reason I'm doing this because it will be a short period of time and have the project. So I think it's quite urgent, like to give them an answer as soon as possible with the school. Moved by Councilor Bro, second, then giving $10,000 like to discuss. Until the next meeting until we get more information, you can ask $1. We know it goes for the garden, but I would like to get more specifically which part of the to next meeting. So until then the motion to table. So to table, essentially, we vote. There's no debate. I'm saying aye, against nay, table. Thank you. Like Director of Shediac Minor in the region. If it was a pilot project, I'm not sure if it's something you would like to contribute, like maybe like. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As I said, it's a pilot project, and we would have like for this activity in a particular. So they were asked it, or is it for later? Because ended as concluded or not for this winter soccer, but as for the request, and these are all volunteers, so the files can make progress. I would say per year, there's always a budget activities every year. So, and we're always $5,000 to support this program, 100%. And it's for to give the $5,000. Councillor Murray and Councillor
this money is not in the budget.
I'm not
We
sure.
now have to sit and make a decision for, and I think that's incorrect. Have to make a decision to vote.
Yeah.
And I think do a responsible financial to suggest budget.
That the administration identify which will. All right, thank you.
McRoy, lately we don't have any those communication. I support everything. I would like so to allow the administration to $5,000 anymore. They might need half of it. That's not a problem, but because or for activity, I completely agree. Essentially, if you would like to make a motion to the administration, can they review the budget? Do I have a seconder to table until a next meeting? So there's no debate motion like that was to give the money. So you're following me? 4, 5 against. So the motion to table has been defeated. Council. Yes, Councilor Peter, we really have to consider the volunteers in our community they do not understand like the system, what's happening. Finally, like the the town will have to hire staff. We'll really have to work for with them. Like these are so I've a motion and I'm hoping like you will support it. I will ask my question after. Sign your soccer with the condition carried to discuss with the administration. So it's a little bit exceptional.
From it's very interpreter apologize is very low for all operations in 2000 for recuperation after budget. Councilor Patricia, I was that we released the $5,000 for the general operations center, 2,000 for the seconded by Councilor O'Brien. Any points on the question? Although next correspondence in the budget, we made I would propose that we give them Depre. No? Motion passed. Le Boutillier, Marie-Josée Dupuis, and Madame Poirier. When recommendation 1 to produce a communications plan, we retain the service as of June. We had adopted the letters to the editor, and finally tonight chief and his deputy. Well, just to follow up, during our orientation of the fire marshal, and fire chief said he asked possible in residential. They gave us 3 for your information. Councillor Peter and Councillor Butt, firefighters, come Jean-Marc and Rose Lantil. In the 90s, he's always been a fervent firefighter. A surprise meeting with the firefighters. We brought Mr. the fire hall, all the new setup, to tell me that he would like to thank people. Public fighters did, but it was really and I've done that for one of our citizens. Thank you very much. And the chief sent us some photos, humanitarian side of our fire department. Councillor Paul Boudreau. Yes, Mr. Mayor, see on the agenda, they're presented now. It would take me 3 or 4 minutes. Shall we put that at number 3, 8.3, building permits? Over the past few weeks, with these moments where I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the council for its confidence. Very productive years. We've done lots of things with many councils. I'd like to mention the president. Really want to thank him to giving me a chance in July 2011 when I started with the city. See where the town is now. I think it shows it. And Danny and these are people. Shediac, my greatest success in Shediac was the team around me. And I encourage you to continue to provide that confidence to the. Once again, your worship and the council. Thank you for your confidence in me. I'm still Bill Shediac, Jim, Mr. Director General. A great pleasure for me. Not to see you there, or to see you less anyway. Well, I'm sure we'll see each other at some point. So in terms of the SERSC recommendation, Christian Court. Yes, this is something it's still going plot. They didn't have interest to acquire it. There's a buffer, so there's agreement. The plot be divided between the 2 adjacent lots. That lot, it's in between property. We need to hold on to it. So what we would suggest is our lawyer so I'll propose that for the citizens interested in buying that plot of land. Okay? Any questions on the proposal? On the motion? No, it's for something else. So first, this motion first. So, on the motion, adjoining for this lot, all everyone in favor say aye, against no. So, Councillor Paul, thank you, Mr. Mayor and councillors. RCMP Sergeant Maya for the detachment. Yes. Placing of radars this year would be a strategy to lower speed. Street. The fire department, the chief teams explore the possibility of making more efficient the system to provide, and he's familiarizing himself with the many municipal files. Community life. We'll see how to limit access to municipal trails. Task of a parents committee. The committee people on foot. Councillor, I said I was gonna go fast. Access, water access. Members, just a question. I agree that we should raise awareness of. There is proposals later in meetings in March. The person date, it might be possible, and then can give a good information session so that people. That last plan that was presented to go forward with on that mandated to prepare a strategy for. Is this the recommendation? Administration, where are new sidewalks? I would propose to mandate add new sidewalks. At least start the process. Proposed by Councillor Paul Boudreau, seconded in terms of municipal operations. That was all from me, Mr. I still have the email, the radars, and what street. Just some details. Thank you. Thank you, Janice. All those opposed, no. Motion passed. The two topics tonight is Riverside Drive in English. Thankfully, it's working well.
Project in the Chediac, the cement slab of the multi-sport surface following rain events. Also, after and the only option that should be and the expected a usable finish probably unusable. Cost. The conclusion is that option 4 already has $300,000 reserved in the budget to pay for this work. This is I propose that the town of Shediac goes ahead with option 4 as per the Englobe report, a complete slivers of the slab for the multi-sports surface. That is my motion. That's it.
Councillor Chevalier. Thank you, Your Worship. The last time we talk about this topic, Councillor O'Brien is bringing to us, but is it a bit with what he's proposing? Is this where we should go? I don't know. This is just my question. We've been waiting on this for a long time. I just want to see at one moment. The Englobe report, the duration of work is about a month. If you just key on it, that's why I decided to make this non-usable. And plus the town, no, I'm not sure of that for that money. You say it was budgeted. I don't have an answer to that question. I don't know. Supposedly yes. Murray, Jean-Claude, Patricia, so we can use this surface. But I know that Englobe was supposed to come back to us in March with if it's possible for tonight. They did not to redo the whole surface. I don't want to be that person, but I think we need to contact. I don't want to prove something and then we miss the. Talk and you can come back to the point. She has the right to say what she wants. The people who want to speak to this point, take what you want to say and note.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Great project. Mitigating. We spent $300,000 and we got nothing before we fast track this project.
Lors d'une réunion à huis clos.
During for the courts.
Excuse me, I asked the question. Not gone to court. It
No,
was
we-
not that we had not, but that was my interpretation.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Councillor.
Councillor Patricia, Councillor Harry, et ensuite Councillor, and then Councillor. I think Mr. Digg was meant to send another letter to the company. It's what we hadn't decided to go to court, but we had lots of time. and we should have to ask to talk to Mr. Daigle, our lawyer, Mr. Daigle. We've been talking about this for a long time. It does have to be checked, but I'm really nearly certain it was allocated in the budget. 300, the most guarantees that will work for a while. And we say that there are donors who made promises promised them spaces on boards. We promised them things.
project. And I would be ready to vote for this motion 4 to 6 weeks. So there's still 4 or 6 weeks. I cannot. This was my sales pitch.
Councillor McEnroy.
Mayor, expenditure coming before us tonight. To me, that's pretty discussed in camera. And that causes me some concern for, I would think at least that's the indications. To me, is irrational. At meeting of March, if it takes a meeting before that, I would support that. I support the project. But we have to fiduciary responsibility that we all share around this table with this. I understand the frustrations, but is going to have an opportunity 2 weeks from now or wherever.
Councillor O'Brien's motion, seconded by.
And for the motion to table. Councillor Janice Cormier seconds. Have any more discussion? We will vote on tabling the motion on the all those in favor. All those 1, 2, 3, 4 against 5. Because I do not have the information in front of me, wanted to make a second motion on a differential meeting with this item. The table, so there will not be any more debates on this second matter.
Needed in time for use this summer. And I am still convinced that this modified version of access to the Englobe report, the project could be easily completed in time for this. That's estimated at $35,000. Item 8, modify add stop signs, crosswalk, solar flashing orange lights, proper signage. This modified park would not have to be converted to a park, and with the shuffling of the protection committee, the total proposed cost for this project was estimated. So my motion is the following. Council with the recommendation as per the modified version described in item of March 27, 2023.
I would also like to mention one thing. To look at this, of all the proposed. So do I have a seconder? Councillor would be to mandate the protection committee. It's to look at this item as looking at something else. It's something that was already engaged. I would like for the protection committee, because some items I just want to make sure I understand well with the project Englobe to present the project. So word with what you're saying, that's what I'm hoping, like a woman's, that's what we want, we're hoping for, and sensitive. So I'm hoping, and I congratulate you for your recommendation. I agree with this comment. So my question is, so the town, because the location as the council voted for, adopted in November, back in November, but you're talking about something else. So the river. I see we need maybe a meeting, to get more information. Councillor Patricia. An administration to look if the owner, for candidation, could you maybe put some kind of deadline? And also we're that as described, like the protection committee considers aye. So all those in favor saying 5 saying aye. So we're going back on to our agenda. So only for if you have any questions or inquiry. Councillor, section 13. So what you said, I would strongly recommend that the administration comes up with a file that matter. If the file was more complete, as Janice mentioned many times, and it's no one's fault, not pointing fingers. This evening, I agreed to vote on what we voted. Thank you. Just a quick comment, to table things, earlier project we discussed is that amount is there, there, let's use it. It's dragging. I respect like the decision of the council. It's just no. We have no. They did not give us a. That project was submitted with the tennis club like for the project like because the tennis club is very active. So who will the invested like to where are we at? It was supposed to be done by the end of February, but I think there's what when you came. I have a couple of citizens approaching out of what would happen also. So they asked, is it something we can ask me to ask you? So once we have a new CEO, completely agree with Councilor Colette Boudreau. I think so to look to see progress on our files, but we could modify or change something. So when we make motion send email, like it will put the motion decision for the citizen, change a little bit. So these files are there. Surprise, like I can. She was. If you told us, I would have referred to make a decision. It's a soft motion. So in some municipalities, so major, but us it's not there. So it brings a question. So the file for Denis is not there anymore. So it still doesn't mean that we cannot. The intention is good. Like I'm just saying, telling it for future to better prepare so we don't have. It's really just that I would like to discuss, like to know, like how a lot of we're there for that. But in this case, you want to defend Denis or anyone or Denis or myself, but we don't have perfect. Councillor Sylvie. Yeah, Jesus of King. The 02 a bylaw modifying the by Deputy Mayor Jean-Claude Bertrand carried. Mr. Bylaw seconded by the Deputy Mayor Jean-Claude Bertrand. So fifth, I would that the meeting for on March 6th, 2020. All the questions on the motion. All those in favor saying 5 saying aye. 15.2. Mr.
So moved by Councillor McEnroy, seconded by
Understand this because we have no one at the administration because I think it's important like we take a decision. I'm against canceling the March 13th meeting. All those in favor saying 5 saying aye. 2 against nay. 2. So I counted all those in favor, raise your hand. 4, 5, 4, and 4 against. So vote again. I just wanted to be clear. You have a question, Councillor Jean, meeting before March 13th, because I understand we do not have the meeting on March. Well, it will not drag until the end of March. Is it something that's that simple? If you want to have another meeting on the motion to cancel 5, 5 and 5, we are changing CEOs. So this is the reason we're bringing the building inspectors. Appointment of so it has repealed all regulations related to build, whereas Henno Derrickson, Denis Frenette, Samuel Frenette, Patrick building inspectors. Be it resolved that the Council of Shediac appoint a further resolve that the Council of Shediac hereby gives authority to the building inspectors to issue orders, and I shall move. So we have like new fifth half-ton truck. Be it resolved to Taylor Ford at the amount of 63,250. Questions on the motion? If not, all those in favor say fine by saying aye. where we'll purchase a half-ton truck. Big, the company, Telefor at 63,000 by Councilor Boudreau. Questions on the motion?
Bien, les camions.
Budget was for 60,000. We put it out to tender, but we have received no bids. So trucks are similar, and that the question of delivery 20 days, and both trucks are identical. Should made the motion. Now, all in favor, say aye. Of retirement of the director, whereas the town council had entered into a service agreement with Gilles, the position of general manager of the municipality of Shediac, and that person officially begins on from the former general manager to the new general manager. The retirement date to March 31, 2023, instead commence on April 3rd, 2023, instead of March 6th. Retirement package, anticipated hours, and sick leave reimbursement as the officers to amend the agreement as required, and so Bertin, seconded by Councillor Cray. I think it's so very important that it goes smoothly. Yes, thank you. It's one of our obligations as a who holds that position. And Beto is also the interim. Those opposed, no. Motion passed. Thank you. And the meeting. Janice, if you could do the proposal, the motion. Hiring process for the general manager for the municipality of Shediac. Whereas a selection committee was established by council and Gerard Beliveau, a resident of Shediac and former general manager of the town of Shediac. In an in-camera meeting held on Monday, February 13th, Beliveau be hired as general manager of the municipality of Shediac at a salary, pension fund, etc., upon commencement, which is scheduled for March 13, 2023, and that he be subject agreement